In this tutorial, I'll show you how to reduce the CPU temperature on your Windows 11 computer by optimizing some settings and performing a few quick and easy system tweaks. Now, it's important we keep our CPU temperature as low as possible, as when your computer gets too hot, a mechanism will be triggered and the performance on your computer will be lowered to try and regulate the temperature. So in order to maintain maximum performance on our computer, we need to make sure our CPU temperature is kept cool. So let's jump straight into it, and how we do this is first by coming over to the Start menu and searching for Control Panel, and then head over to the Control Panel icon, and then from here make sure View By is set to Large Icons, and whichever plan you have selected inside of here, we just need to click Change Plan Settings next to it, inside of Change Advanced Power Settings, and we're going to scroll down here to this list where it says Processor Power Management and expand this. And inside of this drop down, you'll see something called Maximum Processor State, which we need to expand. And we're going to go ahead and change these two values here on battery and plugged in to 90. And we're going to do the same with on battery. And then we're just going to go ahead and press apply and OK to save these changes. And once you've done that, you can close out of this window, and we're going to come over to our Start menu and search for Run, and then just go ahead and tap on the Run icon. Inside of here, we need to type in System Properties Advanced and hit Enter. And inside of the Advanced tab, you'll see a section called Performance, and we need to come inside of Settings here. And what you'll need to do is you'll need to copy my settings that I have listed down here. So you'll need to go ahead and select this custom field, and you want to make sure everything's disabled inside of here, apart from animations in the taskbar, show thumbnails instead of icons, and smooth edges of screen fonts. Everything else should be left unchecked. And then we're going to come into this Advanced tab from the top here, and down in this virtual memory section at the bottom, we're just going to go ahead and press Change, and you need to select Custom Size from this list here. And in the background, we now need to launch up the calculator on our computer. So once you've got the calculator running up here, what we need to type in is 1536 times by the number of RAM that you have installed on your computer. So if you're not sure what RAM you actually have installed on your computer, you can come over to your Start menu and search for System Information, and just tap on this System Information tab. If we scroll down here, as you can see, installed physical memory RAM, I have 24 gigabytes on my computer. So we can close out of this window, and we're just going to times this number by 24 and hit the equal sign, which leaves us 36,864 megabytes. And we're just going to type this number inside of here, 36864, and we're going to do the same for maximum size, and then go ahead and press Set and press OK to save these changes. We can select OK to this message and just go ahead and press Apply and OK over here, and we can close out of this window. And the next thing you need to do is come over to your Start menu and search for Settings, and then come over to the Settings tab here. From the left here, come inside of System. Inside of Notifications, we want to ensure that notifications are disabled and turned off at the top here, and then we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and come inside of Additional Settings, and you also want to make sure these two options here are left unchecked. Then from the left, come inside of Personalization, inside of the Colors tab, and you also want to turn off this Transparency Effects option by disabling it. And then we can head out of the settings window, and we're going to come back over to the Start menu, and this time search for Task Manager and head over to the Task Manager tab. Now once you're inside of here, we need to come over to Startup Apps from the left, and inside of here you'll find all the applications that launch up on our computer automatically when we first start it up. So we're going to go ahead through this list and disable any applications that we actually don't need running in the background. You'll actually be surprised by how many applications in here we don't actually need running in the background. So for example, Discord, I don't need this running in the background, so I'm just going to right click and select Disable, and you'll need to go through this list and do exactly the same. Just make sure not to disable anything that you're not sure what it is, as it could be an important Windows process. And then we can close out of this window, and we're going to come over to our Start menu and search for Services, and then tap on the Services tab. Now inside of here, there's also a few things that we need to disable that will be running on your computer and slowing your computer down and just causing it to overheat in general. So you'll first want to scroll all the way down to the bottom of this list, and you'll see these 4 Xbox options down here, and we want to double click in each one. And you just want to change the startup type to disabled and press apply and OK. The same with the Xbox Live Game Save and this Live Auth Manager here, and also the Xbox Accessory Management Service. Make sure all these 4 are disabled, and then we're going to scroll all the way back up to the top. And the next one you want to find inside of here is something called BitLocker Drive Encryption Service. And once again, we need to double click on this. Make sure the startup type is set to disabled and press apply and OK. And then we can come down a bit further, and you should see something called Connector User Experiences and Telemetry. Once again, we need to double click on this service and make sure it's set to disabled. and you can press apply and OK. And the next one we need to find is downloaded Maps Manager. And once you found downloaded Maps Manager, once again, make sure this service is set to disabled. And then we can scroll down even further until you come to parental controls. Now, if you're not using parental controls on your computer, I'd also recommend disabling this one just by changing the startup type to disabled. And we can come down once more inside of phone, and then we can double click on this phone service here. And once again, if you don't use the phone service on your computer, I'd recommend disabling this and hitting OK. And the last one that we need to disable is something called wallet service. So we're just going to double click on wallet service over here, and once again, make sure the startup type set to disabled and press apply and OK. And then you can close out of this window. And the next thing we're going to do is head over to our start menu and search for programs, and then come inside of add or remove programs here. And the next thing that I'd recommend is just removing any applications on our computer that you currently don't need. Usually people are surprised by how many applications they actually have in here that they don't need on their computer. So you just want to carefully go through this list, and you can select these three little dots next to an application you don't need, and we're just going to go ahead and hit uninstall. And once you've done that, you can close out of this window, and we'll need to restart our computer in order for all of our changes to take effect. And that's pretty much all of the settings we can change inside of our computer to reduce the temperature. And the last thing that I'd suggest doing is to clean your computer fans. So you'll need to power down your computer, and if you are familiar with opening the back of your computer, then you can just clean the fans. Otherwise, I'd recommend getting this professionally done. But even if you just change the settings that we've mentioned now in this video, that will still reduce your CPU temperature massively. So if this video did help you, then please consider dropping a like and subscribing. Until next time.